Morning all. Car show starts tomorrow. For some of us it started yesterday. Cars all loaded up. 6 o'clock in the morning, quick cup of tea, and I'll be on my way. We've got to set up today. See you later. So this is, just in case you don't believe me, I've just stepped out, the floodlights come on, and it is the early hours. Anyway, we're off. Right, here we are, setup day. I did arrive safely. We've only got a few cars here at the moment. You see we've got some junior office staff cleaning the 340.
I'm the apprentice.
Yeah. And there's the lovely 1800 from Volvo Car UK. So still waiting on the arrival of some other cars. Still some bits to do. Well, we're all set up. This is the inside the house. Out the door, get the merchandise out in the morning. Neil's here with his 800E, just doing a bit of final prep. That's the Jensen 1800 we saw earlier, Volvo Car UK. Kieran's still prepping his 340.
Which one's yours? That's yours, yeah.
Are you going to clean that car, Bob?
Next 4 days. He's mental. He's an escapee.
An escapee?
Escapee.
Oh, right.
From the mental asylum. Peterborough Mental Asylum.
Thank you, Doctor.
Yeah. Good morning. Here we are, Hall 5, the NEC, and it's the Classic Motor Show 2023. This is one hall of 8 halls, and you look behind me how much is going on. It is a massive show, and it attracts tens of thousands of people every year. A lot of activity, a lot of lovely cars, including Volvos. The 3 Volvo stands here this year again. It's a good event. So if you look behind me, you will see that there is an array of different models, all sorts of fun cars, expensive cars, and a lot of cars under restoration. It really is a packed show.
Sorry, one phone per month.
Morning, it's November 2023, it's the NEC, and this is the Volvo Owners Club stand, so we're back again. So
We're back. We've got the gang back together.
yeah. So we're going to give you a quick tour of our stand and then perhaps look at some of the Volvos in the show. So we'll see you in a minute, and we'll go and talk to the owners. So this is a P1800, so this is actually one of the very first of the Jensen models made in England. Very the styling notes. It's got the cowhorn bumpers, egg crate grille. You've got the stainless steel wheel covers rather than the hubcaps. And then if we come and look inside, the door's locked. It's always the case. These are the Jensen seats, and it's in the back of the Jensen you've got that parcel shelf, whereas later models had a seat. And then if we can hand forward and look at the dash, you've got this gorgeous aluminium and chrome dials, and that carried through right through to the 1800S's, and the final incarnation of the S was in 1969. Got these lovely badges on the rear pillars here, and even some subtle differences at the back. When I went to Sweden to look at the prototype, it even had cow horns on the back with the exhaust in the middle. But even this little bit, which is the number plate light, is rounded in the Jensen models. The later ones it's more squared off. So this car is owned by Volvo Car UK. Only 3 colours at launch. It was the grey, the red, or the off-white colour. So very pleased to have this car today. I'm going to hand over to Neil in a minute, who's going to show you one of the final incarnations of this car, the 1800E.
It's the 1800E, so as Andrew mentioned, it's the last of the incarnation of the coupes. So detailed differences between the early car that we just saw and this one. So you've got the matte black grille and the straight bumpers is the most obvious difference. The B20 badge signifies that it's now 2 litre capacity from the original 1.8, though obviously the name always remained 1800. Round to the side, you can see the wheels on this were specific to the 1800E, and they're an alloy centre with a steel outer riveted together, so it can corrode quite spectacularly with the 2 dissimilar metals. Side trims are now straight rather than following the swage line through the door. The door handles are different but now run into the wing top trims. And if we go inside, see that the dashboard has now been modernised, I suppose is the word, for the 1970s, with fake wood trim and regular conventional dials, although the layout of the dash is as the original ones. This dash was also used in the 1800 ES, the fake version of the 1800. Front seats gained headrests, and the rear seat arrangement is a little bit different to the early cars, with the small seats in the back, which the backrest folds down to create a luggage storage platform, then has some leather straps that you can secure items in. Moving round to the side at the back, you see these air vents which allow the cabin air to be extracted from the vehicle, which solves one of the steaming up problems of early cars. And also there's the heated rear window, the fuel fillers relocated to the side of the car from next to the boot lid. Particular car is my car. It's an original unrestored car, owned by the first owner for 38 years, covering a very small mileage. In fact, the car has now still only done 23,500 miles from new.
Yeah, absolutely amazing, Neil. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Right, so third car on our stand is this lovely 340, and it's equally proud owner Kieran.
Hello.
So tell us about your car, Kieran.
Tell you about the car. Okay.
Don't tell them about the rusty bits.
There are no rusty bits.
Oh yeah, of course.
There's nothing to say. It's a 340 1.4 litre with the Variomatic transmission, which makes it quite rare. We think less than 15 left on the road in the UK. So yeah, it's very much true to the original 300 series design, which is Renault Clion Fonte 1400 in the front. Prop shaft.
So is this the one with the spare wheel in the engine bay, or is
all 1400s have spare wheels in the engine bay?
Yeah.
So yes, it's very true to the original 300 design, and I've had this one for 3-ish years. She's got the heavy amount of 31,000 miles on the clock.
Wow, really?
So she's not in bad state, but she was left in storage and rather unloved for a few years.
Yeah.
Still a bit of cleaning up and tidying to do.
Well, it looks shinier than when I last saw it, I have to say. So you've obviously put some work in.
I did that here on the first day of
Oh.
the prep day. So, but yeah, she's It's in very good shape, especially interior. Don't look at the floor mats. Keep the camera away from those, please.
Okay. Oh, let's have a sit in here. Oh,
Go on. If we turn those on, then it gives the audience a nicer view of the 31K.
yeah. Let's have a look. Yeah.
But it's quite an interesting spec because it's very late GL. The factory were basically just throwing on whatever was on the shelf onto these at the time. So it's got a spec that's closer probably to the GLE, which they had stopped production of by the time. So you've got nice plush velour seats, electric windows, mirrors, central locking, all the mod cons for your 70s daft designed vehicle.
Yeah. No, that's really nice. Oh, hang on.
Yeah, you're going to have to pause that bit, you're going to have to cut that out.
No. Like to see an old man struggle.
But I'm very, I've got to say, I'm very pleased to have this here because the first time I ever came to the NEC was with my dad. We came along to the International Motor Show in 1987.
All right, yeah.
And we came here in his 340.
Oh, wow.
So here I am back
again with another 340.
My own 340 at the NEC. So
different show.
You've got a little bit of nostalgia in.
And the motor shows have ceased, but the classic cars carry on. So,
indeed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Classic cars for the win. But really good to be here. It's been a good crowd all weekend.
We'll just look at your rear end.
Looking forward to it. Don't look at the dent, black 40, but...
Oh, I found a fault. Oh dear.
So I don't know what you're on about.
You left your lights on, Kieran.
I did that for your filming.
Oh, of course.
And of course the number plate. I mean,
well, yes.
We've touched on the number plate in the past, but the type designator, according to the underbonnet plate for this, is a B14 CVT. And after a couple of phone calls and natters with the DVLA, our friends in Swansea, I managed to get hold of that as a number plate and have it issued.
Yeah,
I've had a couple of people comment that no, it can't be real, and I've told them to go and put it on the Gov website.
Absolutely. Well, that's really nice, and thanks for bringing it this weekend.
Yeah,
cheers.
Enjoyed it. Cheers.
Right, final car on the stand, and its proud owner Steve. So, Steve, tell us about your 240.
So this car belonged to my grandfather, Frank Haig, from brand new. He bought it in 1980. Still have the original invoice from the original selling dealer. It was very much his beloved car. My grandma always used to tell me the story how he wanted to fit central heating in the garage to make sure his car was kept nice and dry.
Right.
Unfortunately, he died in 2002, and I inherited it. So yeah, I've owned this car since been 12 years old.
Right. I mean, the paint's lovely, actually. I love that colour. You've redone that, I think, haven't you?
I have, yes. Yeah, it does come with a bit of a story, does the paintwork on this car. This is the original colour.
All right.
It's called Mist Blue, code 139.
Yes.
And I drove this car in fairly immaculate original condition when I was 17, having spent my teenage years learning my way around an old car, detailing a bit of mechanical work, stripping suspension parts off, cleaning them up and painting them, that kind of thing. And then, yeah, I drove it when I was 17, and like most youth, shall we say, I had a small bump in it.
All right.
Couldn't afford to repair it, only a cosmetic.
Yeah.
But needed one new panel, new driver's side front wing.
A bit bigger than Kieran's bump on his 340 though at the back.
A little bit bigger than that. I decided that it would be a good idea to strip the car down every last nut, bolt, clip,
right,
and part, and modify it. But the idea was to paint the car bright orange, a Volvo colour in the 70s, but the bright orange was a 100 series in earlier 200 series was available in, and fit a turbo engine from a later 940. I got as far as painting it orange, which can be seen on this picture on the dashboard. So it got as far as being a completely painted shell.
right,
And I lost interest in it a little bit. Life got in the way. You know,
Yeah.
bought a house, had kids.
yeah. Well, to be honest, I'd have lost interest in an orange car as well, so I'm pleased you changed it to blue.
But in the meantime, whilst growing up was happening, I guess I matured a little bit.
Got a bit more sense.
Realised that it was possibly the wrong decision to have changed the colour of a car with such importance to me.
Yes.
And I decided to paint it blue again.
Yeah.
By this time, I'm in the automotive refinishing industry at this point, that I can more or less owe to this car's story.
Yeah.
And yeah, the plan was, a switch flaked one day. I need to paint it blue, and I need to get it back on the road for our wedding in August 22.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
The race was on. It took me about 18 months.
Yeah.
It's not absolutely flawless, but it's the best I could do with the budget I had.
I think it's gorgeous. I love the wheels. I like those 5 spokes. They're really nice. But these are not the original seats, Steve, are
No,
they?
they're not. There are a few modifications. I do like to.
So where have you got these seats from?
So the front seats are out of a Rover Vitesse.
Right.
Rover 800 Vitesse.
Right. Were they easy to fit then, or you have to do a lot of modification to get them in, or what?
Reasonably easy. I had to weld up some subframes for them, but they were relatively easy to make out some box section.
And that's from a Rover as well at the back, is it? Or?
No, the rear seat is the original Volvo seat, but
really?
The whole interior is retrimmed in my own design. The original rear seat.
So it sort of matches the front, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see.
But the front is my own design as well. That's not the Rover Vitesse design.
Oh right, okay.
The only thing Rover Vitesse is the construction and design of the seats, not the actual upholstery, if you like.
Yeah. So one thing I did notice on this original invoice, which you've got on display here, it says it's a 244DL, but you've got a GT badge on the back. So what's that about then?
Well, that's owed to my, as I say, I do like to add a bit of a personal touch to a few things.
Yes.
The long-term plan, it is going to have a upgraded power plant, shall we say?
Yeah.
But rather than slinging a turbo engine in it like had originally intended, the intention now is I'm going to build an engine that, to all intents and purposes, will look like somebody had gone to the Volvo dealer when it was new, got the Volvo R Sport catalogue, which is the original range of tuning accessories, and ticked every box.
All right.
At the moment, it's on a standard engine. I had to do that to get it on the road for the wedding.
Yeah.
But there are a few things. Obviously, the interior that I've designed.
Yeah.
The GT bumper stripes, the black wave panel.
No, it's very nice. What size engine has it got at the moment then?
2.1.
It's the 2.1. Okay. Yeah. Well, it's a lovely car, Stephen. Thanks for telling us about it.
Thank you.
So we've seen our stand. We're going to have a little wander around the show. We're going to try and pick out some other Volvo clubs are available, and we're also going to look at some other Volvos that we found at the show this year. So it's a nice 262 here, coupe, but quite a rare car. There's 850 FR, I think, lovely red colour. We're just other clubs are available.
Oh yeah, I'm in the
1800 on this stand. I think 740 limo here. So some interesting machinery. Go around the block. 240 state, I think, It's another 1800. Kevin's car. And even got a police V70. Right, so that's in our hall. We're going to nip up to the other halls now, and we'll see what they've got. Can you stand aside, mate? You're making the car look untidy. So there's another Volvo at the show. This has been done by DPM Auto Body. It's Ahmet and Tanya's car, sorry. Over there, so you've seen the car before. It's all very nice. Obviously they've chosen a non-Volvo colour, sadly. I think we should kick him out of the club, but I suppose that's not going to happen. I'm only joking. But the attention to detail here, which, you know, in the original Volvo, this line is not here in line with this. I think it's over here somewhere. So there's a lot of work that's gone into this to get to this standard. It's a beautiful finish, lovely shut lines. They forgot to put the chrome back on, so we'll have to have words with him about that. But yeah, it's a lovely car. And it's a bit breathless because we're up in the Hall 3 now. We found this lovely light blue metallic 1800 ES. So this is almost one of the last incarnations of the 1800 coupe. It's got the 2-litre injected engine. Just love this paint. Lovely bright work. Badges were different on these cars. The biggest difference is if you come round the back. So you've got this extended roof line. This gorgeous glass hatch at the back. And he's got this period picnic basket, which I think is absolutely stunning. But you know, a lot more practical boot space in this car than the coupe. The coupe has a boot. It's sort of half filled by the spare wheel. So the spare wheel here sits under the floor pan. So you know, it's a more practical car. It's not to everyone's taste, but actually this one is really really nice and a good example. And he's a club member, which is great. Okay, so we've come up to the dealer area. We found this lovely 1962 PV in white, which was for sale. It's got the V16 engine, so it's one of the later PVs started in the 40s with the 444. This is a later 544, still 49,000 miles. Have a look inside. The seats actually look immaculate, so I'm not 100% sure they're the original seats, but they look period, and that's how they would have been. But whether they're the original fabric, I wouldn't like to say. The dash, I mean, that top panel looks gorgeous, everything else looks fine, doesn't it? It's really good. It's a really nice body. Round to the back, we've got this lovely compact look. Yeah, so it's a 544 V18 engine, but yeah, it's a very nice example. Yeah, lovely filler cap Neil with the little cap there with a lock behind it. Absolutely wonderful, isn't it? Yeah, it's great. Right, you got permission for video on my car, Stuart?
Sorry, photobombed you again.
That's all right.